Yeah, let's go. Hey folks, today is Tuesday, July 2nd, 6:33 a.m. My name is James, and let's take a look at what happened yesterday. It was kind of crappy, actually. That was my opinion. With what happened on the weekend and seeing that big gap up before Monday, I kind of thought we were going to gap up and then go. And we didn't. We gapped up, we went up a little, and then sagged, and then it was kind of all over the place. You can see the S&P, we gapped up to through one resistance, this one, and then up to like this level, which is kind of where I have that neckline for the inverted head and shoulders. And we've kind of touched the level again. I do think if the market can get enough momentum to pass through that diagonal line, that angled line, then we should actually really get higher. So if it can pause here and again consolidate or keep chopping sideways for a little bit and then get over that line, we might actually really get higher. But I didn't like the action yesterday. Also, I keep forgetting to look at the oscillator, so let's look at the oscillator. It was plus 41.97, which is overbought at this point. So we might have a lot of difficulty right here. Unless we get some really crazy exuberant news that just drives the market higher. But to see the action we had yesterday after a nice gap up, and then the oscillator says overbought, it doesn't look good for a lot of upside from right where we are right now. So this is the Dow, sorry. You can see it came right up to that upper line, paused. NASDAQ, same thing, touched the upper line, immediately sold back below it. This is a really strong level of resistance for the overall index. You can see that. Touched there, sold right back down. And the Russell, same kind of thing. There is a level there that is holding it down, and it got slightly above, sold right back below it. So it's going to take a little bit more to get the market to move above these levels, basically. I'll try to go through the list a little quickly because it's so big, and you'll kind of see what happened in the market yesterday. So Carvana is still within this triangle, and actually that one looks really, really good. CHGG, I've also got within a symmetrical triangle, and it's still in there, and that's good. AVLR, I was kind of disappointed on this one yesterday because it actually went through the upper line, but it had absolutely no volume. It was like 89% of its average volume or something. I mean, you could have bought it and then wait and see what happens, but need volume. But like I like to see, and I got burned yesterday on 2 trades. I'll tell you about those. But I like to see as during the open, if a stock's going to gap up, I would prefer it gap up underneath a breakout point, and then the trading action of the day drives it through that line. I don't like to play gap ups because they're prone to selling down, and I don't like stuff that breaks out with no volume. Those really make me uneasy because it's like there's no participation driving the stock through that level. It's probably not going to continue then. But I'll show you the 2 that I got nailed on. EPAM is still within its ascending triangle. So NetEase was one, which sucked, but I got caught this in the morning. I think I got a little overexcited when I saw the gap up. But anyway, NetEase was actually at the line pushing through and had good volume, but didn't really have a lot of exciting price action, and the overall market was beginning to sag, and I bought into it, and it basically just got out of it because I realized the market wasn't going anywhere. So that's one that didn't really work yesterday because of the lack of upside momentum. COUP was the other one, and this one was a gap up that was then started to sag, and it sagged back to the line. By the end of the day, it did come back up and it closed, but I got stopped out of it because I ended up buying it, and then it sagged, stopped me out, sagged a bit more, and then it bounced back up, and just choppy action. Like there's other stocks, when you get a really nice breakout, they just drive through those lines. There's like no stopping them. That's the kind of action that I prefer to see, but I don't know. Stuff didn't work out too well yesterday. AZPN came out of the pattern. Again, it came out and just sat there like a spinning top. Is just kind of indecision all day. not great action on some of these. So Zillow, I realized Zillow probably should have been bought on Friday with this line down there, but I didn't see it and I didn't get in here fast enough. If you bought it yesterday on the gap up, that's fine because it actually made some progress, but the entry was probably on Friday. But it still looked okay. I mean, if you got in low enough and it did make some progress yesterday, we'll see what it does. So here's another example, kind of what happened yesterday. A gap up into selling. So this guy came out of the pattern. I'll have to see what this thing does from here, but gapped up into selling. Facebook gapped up into selling. Likely got, if you tried any of these, you likely got stopped out of them. Just CMG, same thing, gapped over the line into selling. AVTR gapped up into selling. JP Morgan, another big gap. It's kind of hard to buy those, especially when there's no upside momentum. But yeah, it moved out of the pattern. Momo, same thing. So there's a nice one where it's in the pattern and gaps up and gets met with selling. That's the kind of thing I like because it's just more consolidation within the pattern. Uber got smoked. Holy cow. Sam. So this guy still looks okay because it's spinning top doji pattern or doji bar there. Just means indecision, doesn't mean suddenly going to sell off or anything, so it still looks okay. McDonald's, same thing, gapped up and sold off. This guy looks better. I like that bar. So if you grab this guy down here, that bar is completely fine. It looks more bullish that way. That's a nice reaction. But that one looks pretty good. ASML, huge gaps up. I don't know if anybody would have been able to hold through this mess here, but yeah, that thing is gapping up really nice. So some of the chips moved. But then I looked at them, some of them also didn't go that far. Maybe they gapped up and just held, or they gapped up and sold off like other things. That guy gapped up pretty far though. INCY starting to bounce a little. It almost looks like a bull flag there. I'll have to wait and see if it actually, takes off the rest of the way, but OLED, so the entry for OLED would have been down there on that bar, and then it dipped and rebounded back up, and it is over that upper line. So if it can hold up there, then you still look just fine. Those are kind of topping tails on the last two bars, so it's going to either go sideways or come down a bit, so be careful with it. ANET, just a gap up into a, I guess that'd be a spinning top there, but it's a red spinning top. See, some of these, I don't like the way things are breaking out. I don't like the way things are moving, especially after I traded two things and they didn't work. You kind of experience there's not a lot of momentum still. We might gap up, sure. That SAM stock, that's one that's really had some really nice movement, but I mean, where's the momentum? Like, remember Shopify, remember MDB when it broke out of a pattern? This stuff's just not happening right now. It just looks really, So I'm going to be probably waiting. You can see Etsy here still within a symmetrical triangle. I drew the lines over the whole, capturing all of the recent price movement. That's a symmetrical triangle. It takes more time. It's going to take more time to get from this bottom back up to the top and see what it does there. So that's the list. So yeah, because things look weird to me, it's like, okay, S&P's at all-time highs, sure. Where's the big momentum green bars on some of these breakouts of these patterns? They're not there. They're just kind of, hey, let's gap up and sit here. Well, let's gap up again, just sit here. There's not a lot of momentum, not a lot of real exuberant, powerful upside that I'm seeing. So there's something like Carvana. To me, Carvana and Chegg are the best two looking, maybe Etsy too. Carvana, Chegg, and Etsy, best looking long-term patterns that have the potential to break out. Well, there's a couple others too. The SAIC looks pretty good. Yeah, but the Carvana, Chegg, and Etsy are really big, and they look the best to go. Especially Carvana, to me, it looks the absolute best. It's getting some nice big green bars, but when it attempts to break out, that's going to be the tail of the tape. Basically, is it actually going to go through the line with really big volume and a solid moving green bar, or is it going to sit there and think about it, or is it going to gap up and spinning top? We got to see. And I don't like the look of the market overall for new entries right now. It's just kind of, I just experienced it yesterday. Two things that just didn't work. There's not a lot of momentum, so be careful. My next video would be, I don't know, about tomorrow. I don't know if I'll have one tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to be here. And then Thursday, yeah, there may not be another one until the weekend from here. So I'll see you then.